Welcome back to my channel. Do you have an upcoming cruise on the Celebrity Silhouette and are wondering what the balcony cabins really look like? In this video, I'm giving you a full tour of both cabin types. I went on a 12-night cruise on the Celebrity Silhouette, where I stayed in a regular balcony cabin, and my in-laws stayed in an accessible balcony cabin just a few doors down. Since about 85% of the cabins on this ship come with balconies, I thought it would be helpful to show you both staterooms side by side so you can get a clear idea of the layout, the space, and what you can expect before your cruise. Refurbished cruise ship. One of the reasons I chose a cruise on the Celebrity Silhouette is that it's a refurbished ship. Part of Celebrity's Solstice class, the Silhouette was originally built in 2011 and underwent a major refurbishment in 2020. This renovation updated the staterooms, added new suites, refreshed public areas, and upgraded the ship's technology, giving Celebrity Silhouette a more contemporary and luxurious feel. One of its signature features is the Lawn Club, which has real grass right on the top deck. It's a beautiful, relaxing outdoor space that really sets Celebrity Silhouette apart from other cruise ships. Regular veranda stateroom tour. Let's start with a tour of my balcony cabin. We stayed in a standard, non-accessible stateroom located on Deck 6. I'll show you exactly what it looked like the moment we stepped inside on embarkation day. First, our cruise cards were waiting for us in an envelope outside the cabin door. As soon as we entered, I noticed how bright and airy the space felt. The blonde wood accents and light gray carpeting create a clean, modern look, giving the cabin a more upscale feel than many other ships I've sailed on. In terms of size, it's comparable to a typical balcony cabin. And for context, I've been on more than 25 cruises. We were also pleasantly surprised to find welcome tote bags waiting for us on the bed. The cabin steward left the daily planner, our shore excursion tickets, Captain's Club information, and invitations neatly on the counter. The queen-size bed was roomy enough for 2 adults to sleep in. The sofa converts into a bed for a third guest. In our case, my son. The sofa bed is actually pretty comfortable for a cruise cabin. No complaints from my son during our 12-night cruise. Overall, the cabin layout felt cozy yet efficient. Now let's step out to the balcony. This is one of my favorite parts of any cruise cabin. Our balcony had 2 chairs and a small table, which made it perfect for room service breakfast. The chairs do recline a little, but not enough to lounge or sunbathe, and the balcony itself isn't really big enough for that anyway. So, I honestly didn't end up using the recline feature. I personally love having my morning coffee delivered to the cabin, and being able to sit outside and watch the ocean first thing in the morning feels like such a treat. The balcony isn't huge, but it's definitely spacious enough for 2 adults to sit comfortably and enjoy the view. Next, let's take a look at the bathroom. It has a modern, updated feel and comes stocked with shampoo, conditioner, shower gel, lotion, facial tissue, and a shower cap. My only complaint is that there's no liquid hand soap, just bar soap, so I ended up having to buy some at one of the ports. I also wish the shower included a retractable clothesline for drying swimsuits. There are 2 hooks, but that's not enough to dry all of our bathing suits. Other cruise lines usually include a clothesline, so I'm not sure why this ship doesn't. To get around this, I have started packing magnetic hooks. Since the cabin walls are magnetic, they're an easy way to add extra hanging space, something we definitely needed with 3 people sharing the cabin. I've included more details about the magnetic hooks I use in the description below. One important feature I always pay close attention to in a cruise cabin is the desk area, especially since my family uses it a lot. My husband needed to work during part of our 12-night cruise, and the desk, right next to the balcony, was just enough for him. It's a bit small, but it did the job. The ship uses Starlink Wi-Fi, and he was actually able to get work done and even join Zoom calls without issues. It's not the fastest Wi-Fi in the world, but it's much better than what ships used to have. In terms of outlets, just be aware. There aren't many. The cabin has 2 US outlets and 1 European-style outlet. With 3 people and lots of devices, it wasn't enough, so I was glad I brought a universal adapter. That allowed us to use all three outlets at once. The counter area is small. Under the counter, you'll find a set of drawers, a safe, and a mini fridge. The fridge is stocked with some snacks and drinks like soda, bottled water, and beer. They're not included in your cruise fare. You do pay for each item, so just keep that in mind. Now for the closet. Storage in this cabin is a bit tight for 3 people. There is one main closet with a section for hanging clothes on one side. You do get bathrobes, which is nice. Above the bed is another cabinet, where the cabin steward usually keeps extra linens, but it can also hold lighter items if you need additional storage. Size comparison. Regular veranda stateroom versus accessible veranda stateroom. Before we tour the accessible balcony cabin, let's take a look at the size difference. When you include the interior space and bathroom, a regular balcony cabin totals roughly 195 square feet, compared to about 285 square feet for the accessible cabin. That extra 100 square feet of space really makes the room feel more open and easier to move around in. Now let's compare the size of the balcony. The regular cabin's balcony is about 44 square feet, while the accessible cabin's balcony is almost twice that at around 80 square feet. The biggest difference is the width. The accessible cabin is almost 4 feet wider than a standard balcony. That extra width gives you a noticeably larger cabin and a more spacious balcony, making the cabin feel much more comfortable. Now that we've compared the sizes, let's take a look inside the accessible balcony cabin and see how that extra space translates in real life. As soon as you enter, the cabin feels very open and roomy. The doorway is wider to accommodate wheelchairs. Inside, there's a king-size bed, a couch, a coffee table, and a large counter and desk area, with plenty of space to move around comfortably. Even with all the furniture, it doesn't feel cramped like the regular cabin. The bathroom is much larger and thoughtfully designed with accessibility in mind. It features a walk-in shower with a fold-down shower seat, multiple grab bars, an emergency pull cord, and even a phone next to the toilet for added safety. The accessible balcony is also significantly bigger, almost twice the size of the regular balcony, and includes 2 chairs and a table, with plenty of space to move around outdoors. If you or someone you're traveling with needs accessibility features, an accessible cabin is definitely worth considering. The great news is that accessible cabins cost the same as regular cabins. There's no upcharge. Just keep in mind that accessible cabins are limited and often sell out quickly, so it's important to book early. While the cruise line usually doesn't verify whether a guest truly needs an accessible stateroom, it's important to be considerate and only reserve one if it's necessary. These cabins are vital for travelers who rely on them. Trust me, it's frustrating when I'm trying to book a family cruise and can't get an accessible cabin for my mother-in-law. Get your free cruise packing list. Whether you're a first-time cruiser or a seasoned traveler, this one-page checklist makes sure you never forget the essentials. Download my free cruise packing list printable. Link in the description below. Are you sailing on Celebrity Silhouette? Then don't miss my next video, 25 Things Nobody Tells You About Celebrity Silhouette. You'll want to know these before you board. I hope you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe for more cruise and vacation videos like this. Thanks for watching.